Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is all about eyeliner for those of us with hooded lids. Hooded eyes is actually a broader term than a lot of people think because there are different types of hooded eyes. There are different levels of a hooded eye, being moderate to extreme to, minor to moderate to extreme. So you might be watching a video of someone that claims to have hooded lids and you're looking at them like, oh, that's not a hooded lid. I have a hooded lid. And then someone might be looking at me saying, she doesn't have a hooded lid. I have a hooded lid, because yours might be more severe than mine. You might be older than me. You might be a different ethnicity where you have a hooded eye, but it's a almond shaped hooded eye versus a downturned or rounded hooded eye like I have. So keep that in mind when watching these videos, because just because a technique works for one person doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work for the other. So I try to address those issues a little bit in this video. I will show you kind of like go from most severe, the technique that I use, to how I do my own eyes and how I would suggest someone with more of an almond eye do their eyeliner. So I do your basic powder application, then I go into like baby wing to how I do an extreme wing, and then a couple other tips are thrown in there as well. So before I even get into the demo, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about liquid liners and eyeliners in general, that finding the right one for you is going to take a little bit of time. Maybe you've already experimented with the different types of applicators for liquid liners, or different types of pencils, or different types of gels, and you have found a favorite. If not, I'll tell you what my favorites are, but once again, you have to find what works for you. I can't tell you how many liquid eyeliners I've tried until I found the one that just I know works the best for me, and also what I don't like. Also with gel eyeliners, a lot of people love the Inglot gel eyeliner. I've bought it a couple times. It dries out super quickly, and yes, I know there's a serum you can put in to kind of bring it back to life, but my biggest problem with the Inglot, and I know it's not just me because I've seen other YouTubers and people on Instagram mention it, somehow it magically gets all over my hands. Like, I don't know what's different about this particular eyeliner, but it's just like magic, where it just pops up like everywhere, and then you end up black on your fingers, a black smudge on your face, a black smudge on your clothes. It's the strangest thing, but it only happens to me with that Inglot liner, so I've kind of given up on it. Now for liquid liners, I love the one from NYC, and the reason why I love the one from NYC is because the entire brush bends, meaning from root to tip, the entire brush bends, and I find that helps me to conform to my kind of rounded eye shape. So the brush moves along with how rounded my specific eye is. So I like that. I like that it's nice and black. I wish that it dried a little bit quicker, because if you are somebody that has a more severe hood, this might be too wet of a formula for you. I'm going to show you what I personally don't like for my eyes. This is MAC's liquid eyeliner in Boot Black. And I know Mario Dedivanovic, who is like a celebrity makeup artist, does the Kardashians makeup, among others. He uses this a lot on them and in his master classes. I cannot use this because it has the opposite type of applicator than the NYC, in that the applicator, the brush tip doesn't move at all. It is just, well, I mean, like the very, very, very tip, but other than that, it's like drawing with a Sharpie, and I can't do a wing with this. I can kind of line my top lid, but I can't do a flick. I need the brush to be a little bit movable. But now if you don't have as steady of a hand as I do, you might hate that. You might need something firmer. So I also like the one by Kat Von D. I like Stila's liquid eyeliner. There are a couple good ones at the drugstore. I know L'Oreal makes a good one, but yeah, definitely try different ones before you give up on it. So all that said, let's get into the tutorial. So I'm going to start with the most difficult type of hooded lid, the kind that is so hooded that if you try to do any type of liquid liner or gel liner, cream liner, that the second you open your eye, it ends up right up here. So if that's you, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It tends to happen to women as they age. So if you're 50 60 plus, or if you just have naturally very, very heavy lids, this is gonna be the technique for you. Of course, it's not the only technique. I do have a video that I posted recently of a makeover on my mom, who's almost 70. If you wanna check out how I did her eyeliner, definitely go check out that video. I will link it down below for you. Anyway, what I recommend for somebody with a very, very hooded eye, one that does have those struggles like I just mentioned where nothing stays on the lid, I do recommend a powder eyeshadow and a flat brush. This one is from Stila, but any flat brush will do. You can also get one that's perhaps on an angle, like something like if it was cut like on an angle, because some people prefer that for getting in this inner corner. Like my eyes are hooded and rounded, so it goes down on this side and down on this side. So actually an angle brush would probably be better for me, but what I'm gonna do is I'm going to take a triple pigmented black powder. This one is from the Meet Matrimony palette from the Balm. So you can use any powder eyeshadow you have. It doesn't have to be black, it can be brown, it can be plum, whatever color you choose. So you're gonna take your brush and then you're going to dip it into the powder, tap off your excess. Always tap off your excess, please don't blow on your brushes. Then what you wanna do is you wanna, first of all, if you are a more mature woman and you struggle to do your makeup, I highly recommend a really good magnifying mirror. I personally like the one from Simple Human. You can get it at Bed Bath & Beyond with your 20% off coupon. It's amazing. So what you wanna do is you wanna keep your chin up and you wanna look down into the mirror. The reason for that is because if you look straight in, you can't see anything because the fold is covering your whole base of your lashes. So you wanna keep your chin up and then look down, and that way you can see all of your lid space of what you have, and just get right down to the root of the lashes. Now you wanna make sure you don't have any mascara on, lashes aren't curled, nothing, because you want nothing to get in the way of finding where that lash line is. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your brush and you're going to press it right at the root of the lash and kind of wiggle the brush to really work the color into the lash line. And then what you're gonna do is you're just gonna work your way across. And this is where I said the angled brush might be better because you can really get in that inner corner. So keep your chin up, don't start putting your chin down and making it difficult for yourself. And then just add color as needed. And so what you're doing with the brush is you're pushing down the lashes so you can really get right at the base. Okay, and because my eyes are downturned, I like to add a little bit more color on this outer corner. So it just kind of lifts the eye a little bit. So doing this is gonna not be so harsh. It's gonna give you some definition at the base of the lash, but it's not gonna transfer. So especially for you more mature hooded lids, this is gonna be just more than enough for you. So this is where I would stop for most mature, heavy hooded lids. I would not move on to doing a wing. Now, for somebody who doesn't have that extreme hooded lid, maybe you're a little bit more hooded than mine, but not like so severe where you can't use a liquid liner or a gel. If you actually can use a liquid liner or a gel, and I recommend still using one that dries pretty quickly, not one that stays wet for a while. I really like this brush by Sigma. It's their winged eyeliner brush because look how tiny it is. And it's really easy to work with, because one of the main problems with making up hooded eyes is that there's not as much space. There's not as much flat canvas to play around with. So, and then we have the fold, of course. So this little brush is just really, really helpful to work in a smaller space. That's just like any tool is. The smaller the tool, the smaller space, the smaller the tool. So I'm gonna use that. And I'm gonna go into this gel eyeliner from Morphe, because I feel like if I'm just doing a wing, a gel eyeliner is the easiest for me. And I always wanna wipe off my excess. I just use the cap to wipe it off. And then what you wanna do, and now I know so many people will say, don't tug on the eyelid, don't tug on the eyelid. Well, newsflash, when you reach a certain age, you have to kind of tug because, and also with a hooded lid, because you just need to make sure that your lines are straight. So without pulling on a little bit, you could be a mess and you'll have little skippy places. So what I do is I pull out a little bit. Now, once again, if you have a more almond hooded eye, your line is gonna extend more out. Mine, because I'm trying to lift, is gonna go more up a little bit. So what I'm doing is I am following this bottom lash line and I am just making a little line like that. Little wing, baby wing. So I didn't realize I was not recording when I just did this last step, which was connecting the baby wing to the main part of the liner. And so what I did was I tugged a little bit outwards and upwards, and I just connected this area to the tail of my wing. And then I also went back and I just touched up this area just to make sure it was nice and even. So it should look like this. So this is about where I would stop. Sometimes, and I'll show you on the other eye, that I do a liquid liner and I make the wing a little bit more extreme. But one of the steps that I feel like I need to do personally, because I have very, very pale lashes and I just feel like it does make a difference, is I will tight line the eye as well, because I have this gap. So once my lashes are on and my mascara is on, it's really, really noticeable. So I like to take a black pencil of any kind. This one's just from L'Oreal. L'Oreal? Yeah. And I am tight lining my upper lids. So now a lot of times when I'm done with my liquid eyeliner, if I've done a wing, is I will take some concealer on a brush and I will go under the wing and just clean it up and give it a more crisp appearance. So now we have moved to the other side so I can show you how I do liquid. Now, liquid I usually save for when I'm doing what I like to call an extreme wing. So a real dramatic wing liner. And for that, I'm gonna use some Scotch tape, or as I think in the UK, they call it cello tape. I take a little piece, and you can also use a shadow shield. I put it on the back of my hand and then quickly rip it off so it's not super sticky and damaging to the delicate eye skin. So what you wanna do is you wanna take the tape and you wanna put it, again, how I showed you on the other eye, that you want the line to connect to your bottom lash line. And again, because my eyes are downturned, the tape is gonna be more on an angle than it would be if I had an almond hooded eye. The tape would then probably extend more, a little bit less of a 45-degree angle. So as I mentioned in the intro, NYC is my favorite liquid liner to use. And even though there's tape, I'm still pulling just a little bit, mostly out of just habit. I start at the inner corner of the eye and make little strokes. So same as I did with the powder, I am starting small and building up. And also doing the main part of the lid first before I attempt the wing. Now for the wing, the tape is your guide. And I just extended it out just slightly past where my crease shadow is. So now we have like this little hook. So this part needs to be filled in. And that's the thing with hooded lids, is that if you don't fill in this part, it's gonna look kind of funky. It's gonna look funny. You have to fill in where the fold is. So what I do again is not close my eye entirely, but look down almost like at the tip of my nose, turn my head a little bit, pull a little bit, and then slowly build up. Now, I know there are some people on YouTube, like Jaclyn Hill, Crispy, that can take the brush from the tip of the tail of the wing and bring it in and it's perfect and flawless. I can't do it. Just can't. Okay. So now that I have the wing looking the way I want, then I gently remove the tape. Now what I personally like about doing my wing before I've even completed my eyeshadow is then I can go back and use that as a guide to darken this outer V area. A lot of times I'll go in with a black or the darkest color in a palette that I'm using, and I will just touch up this area right here because that wing has given me a nice guideline. So once the eyeliner is complete, then I'll go ahead and I'll put on my mascara, my false lashes if I'm putting them on. And then what I do is I reach for my cell phone and I will quickly take a selfie with my eyes closed, a close-up of my eyes with them closed or half closed. Okay. Then what I do is I take the photo and I zoom in and I make sure that everything is even. So like what I noticed is that it kind of dips down a little bit on this side and doesn't on this side. And of course you don't have to be this like, you know, crazy about it. It doesn't have to be perfect. Nobody's gonna notice these things, but I figure it's like just a quick, simple photo and little touch up, and usually it's something so minor, and then I'll just go ahead and do that. But I just like to, you know, I like it to be just perfect. So that's just a little tip I have. If you don't have to do it, but it just helps me. So I did go back in and just touch up where it needed a little bit more thickness over the lash band. And I'm just waiting a couple seconds before I open my eyes to make sure that it's dried so I don't go and mess up all of my work. And then sometimes I will get a little liner on the lashes. So I also want to take my finger and go like this. So so if the black stuff comes off, it comes off on my finger. And once again, not up here. So now that I have touched up the eyeliner to the best of my ability, I will go and take another quick selfie of the eyes. And I will make sure that my wings are perfectly even and be on my way. As with any how-to video, if you are brand new to doing this, it's gonna take you a couple tries. It's gonna take some practice to get everything down right. You're gonna mess up. Even the best makeup artists mess up eyeliner. I've actually seen it on other YouTubers' videos. I have seen it where, you know, me personally, when I'm doing a client, one eye comes out perfect, the other one, it takes me a little bit more time. Your eyeliner, you can have a great day, just like with your hair. You can have a great hair day one day and a bad hair day the next day. You can have a great eyeliner day one day and a horrible eyeliner day the next. So don't get too discouraged. Nobody, except for, like I said, maybe Jaclyn Hill and Crispy, do perfect eyeliner every single time. So there you have it, my tips for doing eyeliner, whether it be winged eyeliner or just basic liner with eyeshadow. I do highly recommend, once again, if you are a mature woman or man that wears eyeliner, you check out the video I did on my mom when I did her eyeliner. Play around with different types of liquid eyeliners, pencil liners, gel eyeliners. As with most makeup, trial and error is part of the process. So thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you have not already. You can also follow me on Instagram and on Snapchat. Both are Risa Does Makeup. I'm on Facebook, which is Risa Does Makeup, but separated out into 3 words. And my website is risadoesmakeup.com, my website /blog. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you all very soon.